YouTube, what is going on, guys? Welcome to week one of the Esports Weekly with Momentum, where we're going to be covering all of the top esports news, as well as keeping you up to date with Momentum news every single week. Haven't picked a day. We don't know when this is going to go up, but it's going to be weekly on the day. So let's start. We're talking old aim assist versus the new soft aimbot, quote unquote. Who's gonna kick it off? TwoStep.
TwoStep.
I think you've got. I think you got the. I think you got the wise words for it. Give it to us.
It's broken. It's aimbot. Period.
I mean, I think the biggest thing. I think the biggest thing is with it is just the needing of adjustment. I like. I think that they heard the L2 outcry, and I think they made the adjustments. But I feel like now it needs even more adjustment than it needed beforehand.
Yeah. Um, they definitely made it twice as strong than they used to. The L2, like I used to play on Shoal 7, like everybody was complaining about the Eagle L2, how like you could deagle people out the air. Wow. But it was like at his and I played it that time and I knew it was broken. And I knew they were gonna I just
Can't really hear you, TwoStep. I can't really.
Yeah, you're.
We need it closer to your mouth.
Yeah,
We need
you
it closer
just
to your
got.
mouth.
You just got to fuck it up.
Just,
Are you
just start
fucking
it.
serious?
Just start over. Yeah, dog.
Yeah, I don't know why it was. Yeah, it was like cutting
Bro,
out
like
like
the
towards
thing
the end of
though
your
with
sentence.
aim assist is you don't even have to aim in now to get the same result. Like
Yeah,
you can
And-
just fucking do from fucking not even aiming in and get 2072s on the headshot. Like
yeah, and I think too, like Dame brought up a good point when we were having the first conversation about it. It's like people can just pick up a controller now. Like it's just like you can legitimately pick it up and play. Like there's no skill needed to hit shots anymore on controller. Like with this update.
They're just closing the skill gap even more. Like
dude,
they always
is
do.
Nate bugging out for you guys too? Dude,
Yeah.
Am I? I'm not bugging out on my we're having podcast one glitches, but we're gonna keep rolling this shit because I'm not we ain't resetting this bitch again. We're gonna keep it going. All right,
Dude,
so
you're freaking the
so
hell out.
Wait,
so
Nate, you gotta do something different, bro.
Bro,
Unplug
I-
your camera and plug that shit back
bro,
in or something.
bro, my shit's good on my screen, bro. We're good. Like the recording is good, bro. We're good.
Dude, you're sitting here
But
going,
but But anyways, so I think the biggest thing is we always have the discussion of needing to make the adjustment to mouse and keyboard. Like now, if you're trying to be competitive in the game, I feel like you have to switch to mouse and keyboard now, because even though that yes, it's broken today, and yes, it may be broken tomorrow, but next week when they make the updates, when they're continuously messing with it, I don't think that you can be a consistent controller player. I just don't think that it can happen.
Yeah, no, there's no
There's gonna be a lot
chance.
of adapting.
Yeah.
Done.
So moving on, next topic that we had set up for this podcast, FNCS squats. W- first take on it was how how is it going to happen? Like, you know, it was one thing when duos had to come together and they had to make, trios and had to pull certain people from certain places, but now you're adding one more guy that you have to communicate with, that you have to be on the same page with, server issues that Fortnite already has. What like what's the opinion on it here? Is it something that can be of competitive long-term competitive Fortnite, or is it kind of a okay, we're going to test it now and after it's tested it's kind of done?
I think that if the servers don't legitimately break in the first tournament, I think it could definitely be like a mode
Yeah.
to have a force. But like it honestly all depends on the servers. Like if the servers like can't handle it, then obviously it's just gonna be stupid. Like people are gonna be running around not being able to build, not being able to shoot. Because that used to be a thing. You literally used to not be able to shoot. Like,
Oh, remember that clip of Poach when he was?
yeah,
he was
no,
putting
and they were like,
monsters
bang,
in
bang,
the
bang,
ice?
bang, bang. Yeah, like,
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
dude,
every
that
like,
used to
72
be
hours.
so funny. Bang, bang, bang.
like
Bang, bang, bang.
if the servers can
Dude,
take it, then I think it
honestly,
can definitely have potential.
dude, Fortnite's gonna get sued because some kid's Xbox is just gonna catch on fire and burn his house down. So,
I mean, and now I
like,
think of anything we talk about competitive and needing a PC to play competitive. Like the only player that we know of that has done well, and I'll probably get flamed in the comments for it. Oh well, you missed this guy or that guy, but literally the only guy that we know of that has qualified for anything significant from our team, like in the whole community, is on our team, and that's Clutches, and he was on a PS4. Like now more than ever with squads, you couldn't play a late game in solos. I don't even think that you can compete in a squad tournament on a console. I don't think
there's
it's
no
I don't think it's
chance.
possible.
If they,
There's no
I
shot.
don't know. If they fix the servers, I feel like um a console player could definitely play because they have the other three people in their team to fall back on, so they don't have to be that mechanically skilled. Honestly, you just have to drop mats and give them like heals and all. So I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like there's no server though that can handle all that fucking chaos though. Like
Yeah,
there's
The amount of builds
so
that are going to be happening
much
at one
going
time.
on.
Nate,
exactly.
have you ever seen the videos of the squads?
I that is actually the time and when I watched Tfue is when T-faults were big, and
His
I mean
PC
I
couldn't
watched
even
it.
take it, bro. He
Yeah,
couldn't build. He
yeah, he
couldn't
had, he had like 12
shoot.
frames, and like
Yeah.
we're having the discussion too of the leaks and everything coming out about the new map, and we discussed, you know, e- e- even people on an i9 2070 2080 are playing on the lowest settings. So it, I feel like there's an optimization that can happen that they can just take useless things out and make the game flow better. I feel like there has to be something that they can optimize, but I don't know that in 2 weeks they can make it good enough to use that as a trial period. And we're legitimately talking about a tournament that's going to be played for, I mean, what was trios was what, a close to $1 million, right? Is that what was the total prize pool? It was something close to that, or I mean a
Probably.
couple 100,000, through the qualifiers and the finals. You're talking a half a million to three-quarters of $1 million that you're playing on servers that are not optimized for this game mode. And I think that's a problem. I mean, there's certain competitive esport games that are getting played for less than that on fantastic perfect servers.
But I don't think they have nearly as many moving parts though. That's the thing. Like
There's a
building
different
is
update
like one of
every
the
week. Like,
the building is one of the main issues. Like that just takes up so much server lag. When you got 60 fucking people just tunneling and then shooting, like that shit's fucked.
I just wonder though, like how a game, like Call of Duty for sake, just for food for thought, like with all of the graphics and all of the textures and all of the shadows and everything that they have in that game. I get it that there's only 10 players in a competitive match in Call of Duty, but with all that, like with the map and everything that they input into the game, and maybe it's like a size thing. The maps are way smaller, so you don't have as many issues. But like, I don't feel like the Fortnite graphics should be as demanding as they are, and I feel like
Yeah,
there
no,
has to be
definitely not.
something hidden behind. It's like you're playing a small game, like not a small game, but you're playing a less graphic needed game. It just doesn't make sense as to why it happens that way. But I think potentially that's something that they're thinking about when they're putting the idea to a new map or an updated map for take, is we need to fix this. This is a problem. So what better way to do it than let's re-optimize and feed something new out. What
Uh,
what what is the thought to on cash cups for next season? Do you think that you continue to see solo cash cups next season, or do you think it goes to
No.
duos?
Well, I think if they do any cash cups, it has to go back to the World Cup format where you qualify for one day to get in the next. Like, because when you have the solo cash cups, it's just fucked now. Like, there's everyone's
it's just a W
W
key like
key,
fest.
like, nobody takes it serious. It ruins everybody's chances. Like, It's way more RNG now.
What do you think? It's
Yeah.
solos or duos, or
I
potentially
Prefer it to be
trios?
duos.
Souls is always going to be worse. Like W. always gonna
Yeah.
be-
It's
Because I
so
just
easy to WK in solos.
Because I just don't know like how long you can continue to run solo tournaments over and over and over again. Like I feel like no matter what, there has to be a quote unquote world champion. So with that being said, you know that solos are going to be at the World Cup. Like you don't need any more testing there.
I don't see why they can't run 3 different game modes. Honestly.
I mean,
Not
yeah,
enough
that too.
players anymore. I don't think.
But we're running 3 different tournaments now. You're running solos Tuesday, Thursday, or Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday is trios, and then Saturdays and Sundays were trios. Why not run solo, duo, trio Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then run squads on the weekend?
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
Just to get different more people involved. Like I know right now, scrims don't even bother trying to run certain scrims or certain arena because 7, 8, 9 minute queues to get games,
Yeah.
and that's just like is what it is.
There's really no practice.
So talking on the same topic of FNCS squads, starting with Toxic, who's the squad to watch going into the season? Any
I
region.
think that. I mean, my top pick would be. Didn't Zexro and them drop calculator? Pretty sure they did.
Hmm,
I heard something about that.
Yeah, they drop.
I don't know.
It's.
Pretty sure they dropped.
I want to say that it's Zex,
It's Zex,
Flicks,
Macwood,
Macwood, and
and they drop calculator. They're looking for. I think whoever they pick, I think they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with, obviously. But that would be my top pick
Grave.
for squads,
D-
especially
Are you
without young
looking
calculator because
for?
that's so toxic.
Are you looking for like the number one you think is gonna be consistent, or you want to like one of the runner-up squads that like you don't hear about very often that are gonna make
No,
noise?
your squad to win, your squad to watch.
Oh, definitely Mongrel squad. 100% Mongrel, Benji, Fishy, and whoever they have. I don't know if they've got
Are they
Mitro
gonna
or
do
not,
Savage
but
or
their
Mitro?
squads are gonna be.
No, it's not Savage or Mitro, I don't think.
They're looking for 2 at the moment. I think. I don't think they're gonna have
Good
Mitro on their
pilots.
squad.
So why did that split up though? Mongrel and them had a squad. Why did that? Did we ever find out why that all went sideways? Because remember
I
they
don't.
dropped Mitro, and then had a full squad.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
I don't think he really released anything or like said anything on Twitter about why they split up. It was just like they were looking for 2 all of a sudden, and then it was just Mitro was out of the picture.
TwoStep, your squad to watch.
Um, I think it'd be Aspect, Bucky, Animal, whatever they pick up. I feel like that's gonna be one of the squad. Also, Zates, stretched up. That's
Get a
what I
little,
feel
get a
Yeah.
little closer to your phone.
Yeah, Booga.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah, but they're gonna be nasty.
yeah,
It's
the
like get a little
Booga
closer
squad.
to your phone, but they're gonna be nasty.
Yeah, the Booga. Yeah, the Booga squad. I feel like Freezy to you.
Definitely Mongrel. Mongrel's energy is just like the energy he brings to any team is just
It's
gonna be
literally
good.
unmatched. It's
Yeah.
unmatched.
So they're just gonna be
One
destroying
shot.
kids. He's more short.
Well, I mean, look what they did in trios. They literally wiped kids like it was pubs in big tournaments that cost
Yeah,
hundreds of thousands of dollars.
yeah. I'm gonna go with a dark horse. I'm gonna go Assault, Inno,
Oh no,
No chance.
and there too.
the fucking Goonies! You're
The,
going with the Goonies?
They're not playing with
no fly zone.
Stretch, are they? They're not.
bullshit.
I think I think you see. Hear me out. This is why, right? I feel like that's one of the only squads out there that took 2 sets of duos and put them together. I feel like by the time that the tournament comes around, so many people are going to be split up that chemistry could factor in a large way, and I feel like they could potentially be the squad that has the most chemistry.
Well, they mesh well together anyway, because you have already the duo of Inno and Assault and Diggy and Benny. They've been playing together for since.
Wait, they're all squatting?
That's the
Yeah, they're
squad.
squatting.
Yeah,
Oh shit, I did not
That's
know that.
that's the squad. That's the
the squad.
controller Goonie squad.
That's
They're
the
going
yeah,
full controller.
that's the no-fly zone squad. And that's what
I don't.
and
I don't
that's
see
what
that.
I'm
I don't see
saying.
that working out. I really don't see that working out.
So
There aren't enough mechanics. There aren't enough. I don't know. Like,
so we think that squads that don't have as much chemistry together could we feel like mechanics
Yes,
could play a
200%.
massive role
Yeah.
in it. Okay.
I definitely think that.
So another topic to come back around because it happens every time the tournaments come out. They split, they come back together. He just took a little bit of a break. He don't like him. Let's get on the topic to wrap this whole thing up. Do we see Tfue, Cloak, and 72 find a fourth and play together again this tournament? Do you see that happening again?
Nah. I see Tfue just sticking with the Liquid kid or whoever he played with. Like,
Yeah, he did really well with
Fiverr.
the
Yeah.
weirdo name.
I-
What's the other dude's name? The Liquid backwards. I don't remember. What
Liquid Canada.
Canada, yeah.
Yeah.
Something
I
that
mean,
I
they placed,
did
what,
see
top 2.
on Twitter is Parpy had a picture of 3 with Tfue and somebody else.
Is that
So
Barbie controller?
Parpy, Tfue the third, and somebody else potentially.
I don't know who they would pick up because I know he's not gonna pick up clicks because he already did that with trios and that didn't go very well.
I mean, Clicks literally egoed the shit out of each other every time they talked.
And I don't think that him and Cloak can come back and play together again. I feel like that's over. Like I feel like
Yeah.
they're so now like against each other that I just don't know that they can come back together.
There just wouldn't be a good vibe for the squad either.
I mean, they've done it before. They split up after their duos, came back and played trios with Tom. I mean, I wouldn't put it out of the question of them like coming back to play squads together just for the fuck of it. I mean, they are the winningest duo in Fortnite's history at the moment.
And they're also unbelievably rich as it is. They don't really care. So
Like,
Yeah.
honestly, like, they're like the relationship goes like deeper than Fortnite. So I mean, like, whatever Tfue had going, he could like easily say like, oh yeah, I was. I mean, he kind of was wrong in the situation. So I mean, they're friends, bro. And like, if you that petty to say like, nah, I'm not gonna duo with you. I mean, a trio with you. Then, I mean, that's lame, bro. So I just feel like Tfue could probably come back, play with Cloak.
I just don't like the
Tifu
thing.
stream's about to be popping whenever he comes
The
back.
thing
boy.
with
Yeah,
Tfue, this is like the thing with Tfue right now, right? So in Tfue's leave of absence or whatever you want to call it from streaming, all you've seen is like positivity on Twitter, and if you go and like look on Reddit, there's like a lot of posts that he's posted about, like the circle that you're in is creating, your success, and he felt like he wasn't surrounded by the right people, and now he's going to find himself surrounded by the right people. With the negativity that him and Cloak have had per their issues, like even down to like the Madden thing of Cloak taking the Madden thing without telling him and this and that, like I feel
It may
like
just be
now,
something
like
he
we
wants to
said,
avoid. Yeah.
it's so much bigger that he is looking to move on to the next set of people. And I'm very surprised, to be honest, that he didn't show up on a squad with Booga or somebody of that caliber, that he tried to put himself into the next best person, because he knows that he's not the best player in the world right now. He knows that. So
Who's Booga's third or fourth? Who are they playing with?
Go Sav,
Zay
Stretched, and Bogus.
stretched.
Oh, okay. So
And
they
Stretch was the one that we
Wait, where's
thought was
Clarity at?
wrong. That's what we were
Honestly,
talking
Snake
about.
Clarity.
They dropped
What'd you say?
Clarity for Stretched.
Yeah, they snaked him, bro, hard.
Clarity's nasty as fuck.
So that's weird. I don't know why they did that either. Like that
Clarity's literally insane.
yeah, for Stretched. Like
Yeah.
that's the big thing. Like, in no disrespect, but you put
Clarity's
Stretch and
definitely better than Stretch.
Clarity
Yeah.
with with the experience with Booga, and I feel like Clarity is a shoe in, and to not see that now is weird. But
Booga low key got his stuff handed to him in trios though.
not knowing where Tfue is going, we go around the horn again. Tfue slides himself in with potentially who? Who does he try to snake into somewhere? Where does he snake into? We'll
I
start.
have no clue.
We'll start with Dane again.
I honestly have no clue. I mean,
Even if it's just
maybe
a
maybe
single
like a
player, a single
yeah, I
player
don't
that
know.
he looks to go. Does he
Maybe
go to?
like the Bucky animal aspect. Like you never know. I don't know what they're looking for, but I feel like Tfue's a lot more mature now than he used to be, and I feel like they're kind of a mature squad. Like they don't really have much drama surrounding them.
Or a potential like,
That would be nasty. Them that four would be disgusting.
or does he look at somebody like Dubs and Mega and
He does
go
like
with?
the younger crowd though. He always plays with like Clicks and Sway, and like he's played with Dubs and Mega and like different stuff. But I think that's just kind of phase content too.
Yeah.
Like for I don't know.
Grave, where's he going? Who's he going to? Who if he's gonna reach out to somebody today and say, "Let's do it," who's he going to?
I'd probably put him, like you said, with either Mega or Dubs that squad. Because I mean, he played didn't he play with Dubs in a duo at some point? I don't remember, but
Played with Sway.
I could see him
I
going
don't
with
think he
that.
played with Dubs.
He played with Clicks and Sway. That's who it was. It was a trio shit. Um, I mean, obviously replace Clicks with Mega and Dubs. Those two dynamic duo, young, smart, mechanically insane. They listen, and Tfue can be IGL if you need it to be, and then somebody is their fourth. I don't know. Shit, anybody who gets lucky enough to be on the squad, I guess.
TwoStep, whose door is he banging down?
I mean, does he really have to?
I mean, you look right now in the competitive scene, Tfue, and this is a bad word to use, but he hasn't seen the top. He barely cleared the heats, and
Barely qualified for Worlds.
he's not looking too hot. Right now, he is competitively possibly irrelevant. Who's he going to?
Shit.
To get his relevance back, to get his clout back up, who's he banging down to play with?
I mean, it's kind of like an individual thing. I mean, you can't just go trying to jump in a team and like you suck. You know what I'm saying? So if he's not grinding, it don't matter what team he's gonna go to. That team's probably not gonna be able to carry him in the squads. But you got against the squad of four, you can't really have anybody like slowing you down.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know who's open. Shit, I don't know.
Well, I don't even know that they have to be open again. Like you said, if Tfue goes to somebody and says, "Hey, get rid of him," you know what I mean? Like, like does the spot realistically need to be open? That's the thing.
I mean, if he's trying to get in with Clarity or something like that, I mean, shit, he can make a duo with Clarity and then search for two others, and that would already be a pretty solid start for his squad.
Freezy, if he's knocking a door down, who's he knocking down?
You won't believe it, but Nick March, Cypher PK, and Nate Hill. That's a golden squad right there.
Wait, aren't they playing with Funk? It's Funk
Not
Reverse.
anymore.
I thought Reverse was squatting with them.
Well, things change.
I'm gonna go again, and you guys are gonna look at me like I'm stupid. But I gotta think somebody who he feels like he can go and get right back in with is he finds Symphony again. Him, Sim, potentially Reverse, and somebody else. Slacks.
That's a good idea, no cap.
And even if they don't perform well, who cares? Like, Symphony and them are coming off of a decent showing. You know, he doesn't really have any relevance. What do they really have to lose?
I mean, I think they could do well. Honestly, I really think they could do well. The Sims team,
What is it? How did they split up? How did Sim's team split up? Like, how are they, like, how are they splitting ways? Like, what was their squad gonna be? Because I remember Reverse saying that he was potentially playing with Funk and Nate Hill, and I don't know who their fourth was gonna be.
I think a lot of these people just want to try out other people.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
This is kind of like a testing ground because considering the first week we don't have any practice to really practice for it. I mean, this is just going to be like a test run with the first squads and see what works and what doesn't.
Yeah. I think I agree 100%. So YouTube, that is wrapped up the first week of Esports Weekly with Momentum. We're only going to be on YouTube for now. We're going to try to get together and figure out how we can get onto different platforms. If you got any input, we want to know. Comment, like, subscribe, turn the bell on, and we'll see you next week. Later.
subscribe!